Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen. This is JAR episode 309 of the JAR Media Podcast. Today I am joined by Jamie and Alex. Welcome.
Is this the ASMR episode, finally? I can do that beard scratch thing.
No, this isn't the ASMR.
An ASMR thing?
No.
Yeah, it is, right? Where you go like...
But Alex, I'm not watching beard scratching ASMR.
Well, just because you don't watch it doesn't mean it's not
probably
out there.
no, but everything's a thing in ASMR. Like I've listened to ASMR engine building videos.
Calming.
I want a Call of Duty Modern Warfare Reloads anime.
No, but there is Captain Price ASMR videos. ASMR, it's like if you got in on the ASMR thing, huge.
Yeah, I remember
ASMR
people like contacting me around the time.
It was like
before
booming.
it was like huge, like the ASMR market is growing. You should really do something about that.
Biggest mistake you ever made? Not
Alex, you would have quadrupled your subscribers if you made ASMR videos.
But like,
Reading Lord of the Rings as IHE. That everyone...
is that ASMR?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, do your Gollum voice.
Colin reads the man, boy, man.
I kind of find the I recently found this like Lego YouTuber, right? Who he kind of goes in on his videos to the point where it's like crazy. He like almost makes these like stop motion. They're like just reviews of like sets, but they're like he puts in like stop motion effectively of like him building it in like certain steps, and it's all like synced to music and stuff, and it's like all this kind of stuff. That's kind of my ASMR, I guess.
Next time you build something, can you make a video where you build it like it's Lego Star Wars?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, just slowly speed it up. Yeah, I suppose you could do it with the sound effects and all. Before we get too deep into the show, though, let me shout out the Patreon, JAR Media Patreon, that make the audio version possible, and have their names read out in the first or second week of each month. Thanks for the support, everybody. We got a big chunk here, to be honest, of things. Got a few topics here, got a few conversations to round out from that previous lot.
Mistakes to unmake.
Mistakes to remake. Let's do it then. Let's go into housekeeping, which Patricia Norton, Albino, Basilisk, and many other people were on the same note, because we were talking a little bit about that controversial HBO Velma show, which the conspiracies are flowing heavy for.
You take the L.
I guess I'll take the L on this one, being Norville has always been Shaggy's real name in the Scooby-Doo lore. We're gonna drop the Jar Boys some epic Scooby-Doo lore. Norville is Shaggy's birth name, and Shaggy being his nickname. Edit, Norville Shaggy Rogers is his full name. So sorry about that one. I can't even remember.
Wait, so his middle name is Shaggy?
Well,
That's his
I
nickname.
always thought it was. I didn't really think his like name was Shaggy. I just thought the character went by Shaggy.
Well, yeah. Why would you like name him anything but?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, what do you want to say about that? The people are like theorizing now that I think I might actually save this for later. There was some question about it, but about like the idea of intentionally bad shows to get like press. I don't know. We can talk about that later. Yeah, so sorry about Norville. Paisley Meadows says, Alex has mispronounced my Patreon name every damn time, and it's just a normal word. Can't wait to compile the epic fail reel.
What name is it?
Dunno.
Wait, that means next month, the next time we
Paisley
read the
Meadows.
Patreon names, you've got to be careful.
This is a thing I'd never anticipated, like, ever making content online or whatever. You're not just speaking to, like, locals that understand, like, and even around here I probably sound kind of weird. Just over Christmas, like, one of our cousins was saying, they said that I sounded American to them. Like, my voice.
What?
Yeah.
Who though?
I don't know like what they're on or whatever, but yeah, but making stuff online, like saying all these names from all around the world. I'll be the first to admit I'm not a very worldly person. I don't know anything. Just saying these names, and a lot of people, like, they've got their like gamer tags as their name online, or whatever you want to call it, you know. So one person's pinkish prawn is another person's
pinkish prawn,
but that's like actually real and really like something to their culture where they came from on some random island I'd never heard of.
I think it's nice when someone says something just drastically incorrect to like not even like
to just leave it.
Yeah, that's how language evolves and becomes epic.
There was one I had one of those earlier where I was like self-correcting myself. I wanted to use the word protractor for something, but that's like it's a math tool.
Yeah,
isn't it? That,
she's doing the
half circle thing. But but it like stuck me. It got me caught in such a way where I like couldn't actually think of the word I wanted.
Protractor. Is it protractor or protractor?
Yeah, that's where I just kind of gave up. And I have this really vivid memory of being in like year 7, sat in like ICT writing some like essay or something, and there was like a word that I was stuck on, and I just couldn't conjure it. And I sat there for like 15 minutes, like just I don't even know like what to do.
I think it's one of those things though where like you're focusing so hard on trying to get it that if you just stop and leave it, just let it go, it will just come back to you.
Mm-hmm. That's what you should do. It's like those people that they write a whole sentence, they like type it all out, and they make a little mistake at the end, and then like go with the back button and like undo the whole sentence and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like obsessive stuff.
I do that all the time.
For the whole sentence?
Yeah.
There you go, man. There you go. So sorry for epically failing at reading. Okay? Greasy the Reptile says, I was recently looking into bear biology and found a podcast with a bear expert and said that the brown bear is called Ursus arctos, which literally means bear. I thought it was very funny to have a biologist say bear so much. Nice.
Ursus arctos.
Ursus arctos.
Bear. Maybe that sounds a bit more like fancy. Like
sounds classical.
Yeah. It's like the difference between saying you're right and hello there. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Ursus arctos.
Lom Bryan says, I think Andor shows Star Wars without lightsabers and Force can actually be pretty epic. No reason you couldn't do it with the Scoob. I guess that's something I was saying when we were talking about Velma. I think what I said was, yeah, you wouldn't make Star Wars without lightsabers and the Force, but they've literally done that and it was actually quite good. So I guess it really more comes down to the fact that it's bad writing. It's bad writing.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I don't think you could really call the Scooby-Doo universe like a...
Like novels and...
Yeah, you can't really
spin-offs
flesh out because it's like just real life, really. Because there's no actual ghosts. They're all just dudes wearing masks.
What about in the movies? Kind of gets a bit real.
They're like CG monsters, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make them not real?
No, CG isn't real.
But in the movie, they're real.
They're not real though.
They are.
No, 'cause they're like holograms.
No, they're real.
Are they real?
Yeah.
Well, then that is real. I thought I didn't mean like CG as in the movie. They're like obviously they are.
Yeah,
but I thought
they were
in
like
the
computer
universe,
yeah, they were computer
the
generated.
twist is that like they're not real.
No, they're real. And they like change consciousness and stuff. You remember that whole weird scene where they like Fred goes into Daphne's consciousness and they swap?
I'm gonna be real. I haven't seen this movie nearly as many times as you have. So.
And Fred's like, yeah, I'm gonna look at my boobies as a girl.
Damn. Let's go, Fred. Let's go.
There's a lot of stuff in that movie that just like was really confusing as a child. These concepts, like opening the door to all these crazy concepts.
I mean, Velma as a concept was something to wrap your head around, let alone everything else.
Yeah. Jacob B says, for housekeeping, please, in caps. So I guess they really wanted me to say this. Why did Alex not listen to Jim for the title of Intercontinental Ballistic Booba? I guess I kind of addressed it already. You know.
I didn't say that, James did.
Yeah,
honestly, the 90% of what makes people click on a video is the title and thumbnail combo. And I felt like it would, I don't know, probably just get flagged as being some kind of military video.
Well, to make a thumbnail for Intercontinental Ballistic Booba.
Yeah, exactly.
That's going to be tricky.
I want to end this segment on this one from Hindu Frap, who was also angry at us. Wobbuffet is the blue Pokemon that hangs around with Team Rocket in the anime. Get up to date with your Pokemon lore, will ya? So what are you trying to say? That Meowth wasn't ever that?
Yeah, Meowth was that more.
What do you mean get up to date?
He was like
that
the
when
third...
we watched it.
Ah!
I also did see, I vaguely remember when Wobbuffet came along, but that's when I kind of tuned out.
Yeah,
No, Meowth.
Is he called Wobbuffet as like a reference to Boba Fett? Like it rhymes and the second word is fett.
I don't know. I guess I never really thought about that. All the Pokemon fans can write in and we can definitely pay attention to that one. Yeah. Team Rocket's blasting off again. Isn't that right, James?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Pokemon?
No, I don't think I did.
Really?
I think for the most part I've managed to avoid Pokemon.
As an anime enjoyer, I think you would actually like Pokemon.
Yeah. So the biggest, infectious Japanese bit of media that spread everywhere, you somehow didn't get at all. What about Yu-Gi-Oh?
You didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you remember when Brock is running with a frying pan in the rain and he's like, I can turn this frying pan, and then he puts it on his head, into a drying pan.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't watch it then.
No, man.
Pokemon rocks.
I did, however, get a pack of Pokemon.
Like cards?
Yeah.
A little booster pack?
No, like a chunky, like a collector's pack, like a chunky wad of like 500 cards.
Was it to try and defeat my deck?
No, it was just like I was at a racetrack. And I got Pokemon. I don't know what the context was.
Were they playing the game on like the hood of a car?
No, they were racing cars.
That's actually what what was that like gang of really fast
the Midnight Club.
Yeah, the Midnight Club. They'd meet and play Pokemon cards on the car.
Then to run away from the police, they have to make cars that fast.
There's one car with Pokemon and then another with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Interesting law about that guy. He's a notorious conman. He's in prison.
Aww.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a shame. Aww. I could put my Gucci's on.
What are you singing over there, bro?
Huh?
What are you singing over there?
When was this?
Not sure. Well, we got a few topics to trickle out here. James has one.
Oh.
We probably should start on, so it's quite interesting. Quite weird.
It's more weird than it is like. It's just weird, man. So like maybe I can't remember the actual context of this JARling's like their message to us in
it was a few months back now.
It was, but JARling basically said that for some reason they might be related to me, and I think they were saying that like part of their family tree comes from the same area we're in, and it happens to share the same name I have. And well, basically, we went to Divine yesterday. Shout out to Mark at Divine, legend. And we're talking to my sister, and then we got some house law that's kind of just opened the doors a bit. Basically, the house name that comes from the area we live in is directly related to me.
To you specifically?
Basically, my grandfather was... His mum married a man and had kids with them. But because she had my grandfather with another man, my grandfather took the name, and that name was House. So my grandfather has 8 brothers and sisters that all come from CALNE and the surrounding areas. So, in short, the House family that's in our town and the areas are directly related to my family. So the James House in CALNE is related to me, James House.
And it doesn't stop there, though. Which relative was it that bred the collies?
So on one side you've got the House, and that's my dad's side, and then you've got my mum's side. And on my mum's side, her parents basically owned the farmhouse in CALNE and bred working dogs on it. That was the farmhouse that we went to a viewing to.
Yeah, by the
years
funeral,
ago.
All 4 of us went to go look at.
No way.
It was owned by James's family.
What?
Yeah.
By the funeral place?
Yeah. They bred collies there.
Wow.
But the crazy thing is the JARling who mentioned this is probably somehow related to me.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to dig deep and actually look at the family trees, but it's like been confirmed. It's 100% been confirmed now that all the houses in this area, they are just offshoots of...
How weird is that?
That's crazy.
I think the world is way smaller than we think.
Things like this definitely make you think that way.
Yeah, it's just like 2 different family trees, and they all have like they all converged in CALNE, and then I ended up in CALNE. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, man.
So if your name's House and you live in Wiltshire, give me a shout. We're probably related.
Man. Got anything else to say on that one?
No. It's just crazy.
You must have a really big family.
Well, if there was 8 brothers and sisters, if my granddad has eight brothers and sisters, the family tree is huge then.
Yeah, spread all over. But they're in like Australia, America, all over the world.
You know what they say, all roads lead to Swindon.
The House always wins.
Well, guys, I got a couple things I want to talk about. Do you want the sad one or the morally complicated?
Morally complicated.
Kind of exciting. And
can we do the sad one first, then the morally complicated?
Okay, yeah.
I disagree. Do the vice versa.
So, well, which should we do then? Which one?
Morally complicated.
The problem is there are
Sad.
2 votes, and
what's your vote?
my vote would actually be to do the sad first.
Sad.
Yeah, especially because you're gonna do that exact sigh again probably when I start reading what the topic is. Darkstar VIII says, given the major layoffs at 343 and the departure of Joe Staten, what do the Jar boys see as the future of Halo? Doubt there is going to be any more work on the campaign. Are you invested in the multiplayer or have any faith in the game? In this game, bouncing back thoughts. So yeah,
Joe Staten's gone.
So yeah, there have been like widespread layoffs at Microsoft, as a lot of tech companies are doing at the moment. About 10,000 staff gone.
Wow.
They have like 200,000 staff working at Microsoft or something. So just to put the size of that company in perspective, but 60 of those people were from 343.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of gutting the team. Joseph Staten has gone. He doesn't work at 343 anymore. He's now gone back to Microsoft Publishing. So I'd say
that wasn't really a sacking then. That was an internal.
Yeah, they were probably like trying to time it all at the same, because Bonnie Ross is gone. All these people are gone, and now it looks like a bunch of the campaign side are gone.
Redundancies.
It's done. It's finished.
Yeah, Halo's dead.
I reckon.
Give it a year or 2 and there'll be another one in the works.
They're gonna have to Resident Evil it.
Yeah. There's, I don't know if it's been like confirmed yet or whatever, but there's like chatter of them turning more into like a publisher now. So other developers will actually make the games and they'll just kind of
Yeah, they need to find like a reliable studio. That gets it.
It's just like this is it, the actual nail in the coffin.
Yeah. Halo Infinite is dead. I reckon their best bet would be to
Sell the IP.
no
No, they would never do that.
remake Halo 1.
No, remake Halo 3. That's where the money is.
Next, they can build up to that, like doing remaking Resident Evil 2.
They already tried, didn't they? The
That's
Master
the weird
Chief
thing.
Collection was that.
Yeah, they've already remade.
Remastered. They didn't remake.
Yeah, I suppose it's more of a trend now, but it's like it's never had a chance to just take a break and go. It's always there's been something like cooking, even when it didn't make sense.
That's why I think. Because do you remember after Resident Evil 6, apart from like those DS games and stuff, it was like Resident Evil doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, its cultural capital just kind of evaporated.
And then Resident Evil 7 came out, and it was like,
yeah, they kind of figured out what they needed to do.
So I think they need to do that.
Yeah.
It's just so like frustrating because just the same cycle of 3-4 games.
Like Star Wars, it was from like the word.
Yeah.
Like the
Halo
second they
4.
wanted to continue it. Yeah, Halo.
Yeah.
Halo 4.
Yeah.
But who cares? There's plenty of other good games.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like just
I
let it
don't
die.
need it.
But that's what's so frustrating though, because it's like around those early days of Infinite, like the way people were talking about it, and there was like COD was garbage, Battlefield was garbage, and Halo was at least working, and was like, oh, going kind of back to something we haven't really had. And it's just like this whole time, if they would just done what the franchise is and had the content to back it, then maybe it would be a different situation. But for some reason, this company that was created to make Halo games just cannot make a Halo game.
I actually saw, I don't know if this is even true, but apparently if you use the dead body props in Forge World and depict them in a violent way to like show, like, you know, environmental storytelling, your map will be removed from Forge because it shows violence. So you can't use the props in Forge because it's against terms and policy.
Yeah, they've like gutted it of all of its like grunt and character and personality. Yeah, that's so weird because like the violence was like part of it. The blue blood squirting out of the aliens.
Like Halo 1 when
the flood
and everything.
A horror concept. Yeah, it just none of it makes any sense. It's almost Velma levels of like absurd.
It's worse than Velma. There, I said it. It's worse than Velma.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Nothing's worse than Velma.
I think Halo, it's like what I've said all along is that you need to let Halo go. Everyone needs to collectively let Halo go. Give it 10 years.
But it's almost like it's more insulting if they had actually let it go themselves.
They should. They should
let
have.
it just let it sit. You know, if they had that patience just to leave it be.
They need to have the Valve mentality to it.
Yeah,
We're just doing nothing until a little passion project comes up, and it's like,
there's some kind of idea for it. That whole thing is just bizarre and confusing and just silly. I just don't understand like how they come to these conclusions. And the money involved, hundreds of millions sunk into these projects.
So much money,
and they've not.
And for what? You know. And it's like, I don't know, I'll save this as well for later. I think we've got a question about it. Instead, I'll shift into
moral quandaries.
The moral bizarreness of what technology is now allowing us to do. So have you guys heard about this this De-Extinction company?
De-Extinction?
Yeah.
Like reversing extinction?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have to...
So there's a De-Extinction company that has been established, and at the moment what they're trying to do is bring back the woolly mammoth. You know that scene in Jurassic Park with the frog and that whole animated DNA thing?
Yeah.
It's literally that.
The amber?
Yeah. Well, it's the same concept. They take the DNA from the amber, fill in the gaps in the DNA with modern animals. They're doing the same thing. They're using Indian elephant DNA to fill in the gaps in the fairly well-preserved woolly mammoth DNA that has been like retrieved from frozen samples or whatnot. There was some found in Swindon, I'm pretty sure, something recently.
Well, wasn't there that like huge block of ice with just like a mammoth like perfectly frozen?
There's stuff like that, yeah. So you got pretty good DNA like there.
Yeah.
So yeah, take that Indian elephant DNA and somehow you can bring back woolly mammoths, and over the next couple of years apparently they're going to start doing that. And there's like multiple kind of extinct animals that they're like thinking about maybe trying to
well, yeah, because we can de-extinct animals.
But why?
See, this what I'm about to say is can go off into another new tangent, but Cyberpunk 2077 is an amazing game. And one of the details in it I saw was that in one of the terminals ever, it's talking about hunting big game, and the fact that they hunt big game by lab growing the game and then releasing it into the wild, and then you hunt it. So if these scientists are bringing back extinct animals, it's just going to be for game hunting. Because killing a tiger's that's dopamine. Killing an extinct animal that shouldn't be here, that's like times 10.
Well, it's like those weird conservation places that are funded by hunting, aren't they, or something? So weirdly, it keeps the population alive.
But then, if we can just de-extinctify stuff, then hunting becomes a bigger deal, because then we can just use it to make money. Because if you're lab growing extinct animals, at least they're lab grown.
And if you bring one thing back from extinction, then surely anything that exists
presently or previously
or onward, because like we might not have dinosaur DNA or whatever.
No.
But anything that exists at that time loses the ability to ever go extinct.
Yeah. As long as there's like a modern, evolved, loosely related facsimile like existing now, you can fill in the blanks with.
Like if once this technology is done successfully, nothing can ever die again.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, well, we can just bring them back.
But then the I guess the challenge is more balancing ecologies, right? Because they were saying something about like woolly mammoths, like the way they would treat the environment, it's like knock trees down in a certain way, which would then animals below it would like eat the things that they forage, and they'd like would squish the snow down in a certain way, which would like change temperatures, or like all these kind of theories. I think it's more interesting thinking about it in terms of animals that have specifically been removed thanks to human interference. Like the moa in New Zealand or something that was hunted to extinction by humans. Like what is lacking from the local ecology from taking these animals out that maybe reintroducing them in some way could balance in a different way. I don't know. But then
or
that's
throw it off.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the moral quandary comes in. It's like, well, yeah, just because you can, does that mean you should?
Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally that same question. It just is Jurassic Park.
Yeah. But like,
So
I always thought that
ridiculous.
was like a silly like movie concept. Like you can't actually do that.
You can't bring woolly mammoths back.
So it's like
It's bonkers. And I don't think we should. I think we should, even when it's like from human causes, we should sleep in the bed we've made. But then what James was saying with the potential to make moolah, imagine like a zoo that has a dodo if we can eat it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
what if woolly mammoth tastes bomb?
DFC,
No, but surely
dodo
then-
fried chicken.
Fried what are they hiring the dodos to fry the chicken?
Oh man. Yep.
Well, no, 'cause it makes like food supply and demand more scary, because at the moment it's like, sure, the corporations will have like an amount of cows or chickens or whatever, but when they're still living animals that have to be produced, right? But then once corporations can just lab grow the food, they now control the supply. which means that becomes a bigger ethical issue, because then it's like if you go against the corporation, then the food supply stops because they're lab growing it all. Because the same is going to happen with
then
everything
isn't it
else.
also less morally disturbing, because then you don't have like factory farming if it's like...
But it's just be labs.
If it's like
You just
Or
be able
more
to-
extreme factory farming with like the headless chickens James loves to talk about.
What
They're like skyscrapers full of headless chickens.
Oh. No, the technology of being able to like remove parts of the brains of animals so that they don't understand the horror they're in. So you can just have skyscrapers full of chickens that are like perfectly happy. So
Well, they're not happy or sad. They're just nothing. They're just meat. They're just
Yeah.
growing meat.
But then at that point,
husks.
then you can lab grow the chickens without the brains. So then it is just lab growing skyscrapers of meat. There's no animal there at that point. It's just meat.
Yeah.
Because this is going to happen. Like, this is going to happen in our lifetime. Like, we're going to have the skyscrapers full of battery farmed genetic meat.
I really don't know how to feel about this.
No, it's tough to think about.
Yeah, and it's like,
Bro, it's all going downhill.
but also like a lab-grown bit of meat. Is it vegan?
No, but we're going down a different road now with that. I'm just with the bringing the woolly mammoth back, something tangible that like is closer than like
Yeah.
technology of this lab grown stuff. Because I assume like growing one woolly mammoth is probably an extremely expensive endeavor, right?
Yes.
But what does it mean by do they like IVF it into an elephant? And they give birth to this like fluffy
I think
elephant?
that's one way of doing it. They can also use
it's
like
in like
artificial wombs.
Yeah,
as well.
it's in like wombs, because I've seen like horses being grown in these wombs.
But then with that technology, what's stopping us from like doing that with humans?
No, but that's the next step.
Yeah. Well, that like celebrities already like fly to Morocco and get like stem cell injections and stuff to like heal injuries or whatever. Like, it's already like pretty crazy.
No, but it'll be big. It'll be like the biggest like positive to this is that a woman doesn't have to sacrifice so many years to have a child, when you can just have it artificially grown in a virtual womb.
That's already happening basically. Like the surrogate thing that like the Kardashians do, or whatever, where they have someone else have their child.
No, but then that's another woman doing it. We're talking about an actual completely artificial thing that you can just. That's where the baby gets growing. But then a woman's not having to sacrifice so many years for that, because then that's. I see it better,
But
healthier.
it's also kind of freaky.
It is freaky. It's not. It's unnatural. It's
something
not
unhuman
white.
about it.
Yeah, it's
you know?
not human.
Like you just like it's like delivered to you by like
The
Amazon.
stork.
Yeah.
Well, no, because then obviously you got to remember corporations are going to be the one. Like the biggest companies who are going to be able to do this are companies like Amazon, because they've got so much money. So you will get baby
It'll be
deliveries.
so expensive. That it would probably just be like a small select.
No, but it
people.
will be the mainstream. You got
Not
to
until it's
pick your
cheap.
company now, bro. You can pick Amazon, Microsoft.
But now though, I want to focus more on specifically. Jim was kind of saying leaning more towards the mammoth, bringing back mammoth. No, where do you lie on that, James? If you what does your gut tell you about bringing the concept of bringing back a woolly mammoth within the space of 2 or 3 years, which is what they're talking about.
But this is no matter what. Morally, even if you're against it, someone isn't. Like no matter
but
what you do.
What do you think?
If you could switch it off right now, would you?
Like if you.
But then I'd switch off knowing in a year someone else would start doing it again.
No, but
No,
let's
you're
phrase it more
switching
like
off
this
forever.
then. That you have like a vote on a council, and it's either yes or no.
Okay, so
bringing it back.
we're split evenly between yes and no. My vote is the only one that matters.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate. I'd have to go yeah.
You go, yeah. 'Cause I actually don't know.
No, because
So,
bro, no. I'd be
is it being too,
straight
like,
up.
optimistic?
You'd be just curious about what the meat
Is it
tastes
too
like.
optimistic and hopeful to think that there are ways to like help the environment by like, or is that just tinkering? That's just too much. Like
We're playing with shit but beyond our comprehension.
But how could it possibly like improve the environment?
You wouldn't.
We're running out of ice. Right, like it's all melting.
Mm.
Where the woolly mammoth's gonna go and be comfortable?
I don't know. I don't know enough about like how they affect the environment or what their if they just want to do this like once and then that's like look we've done it.
They died like hundreds of thousands of years ago, right?
Yeah, I don't actually know when they went extinct.
And that wasn't due to humans.
It was the environment not supporting them anymore.
Yeah, because they existed in the...
So that is a factor
Ice
for you
Age.
then. So let's change the vote to mowers then. What would you say with them? Because they were hunted.
Yeah, absolutely.
to extinction. So you would... So that's interesting to me.
Well, no, because Australia and New Zealand are good examples of this, because every time they tried to mess with the biology of their country, it's fucked them up.
Yeah. The possums, the cane toads in Australia.
Emus.
What is she crunching back there? Billy!
No, she's just looking at the light.
No, she was crunching something.
It's because, the other day, like, complete tangent, it was about 11 o'clock at night. Everything on here, for those listening, I'm pointing at the windowsill, just came tumbling down. I just heard this crazy crash because there's all bottles up there, so it was just going... I came up to investigate, thinking maybe Billy was trying to climb. But no, she was in there, like at the top of her podium. It wouldn't be possible. Somehow, like everything up there, except that Lego set, had like fallen down. So down there is now a bunch of like dirt and cactus stones, and because they're of course cactus up there as well. So it's just, like,
I
spikes
said
everywhere.
it's a ghost. There's nothing else it could be besides a ghost.
It could have been Billy.
No, it could have been Billy. Look at her. Look, you're saying this and she's now moodily looking in the other direction.
Luckily, the hair jar didn't like crack open, because then that would have been another kind of pandemic on our
Billy
hands.
would have a couple hairballs, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. With the human one, I feel like...
So woolly mammoths went extinct about 10,000 years ago.
Is that
so
it?
not that long.
Is that it?
When
they existed the same time as humans. So.
When were the pyramids made?
Oh, good question.
60 years ago?
Sounds about right.
I could put my Louis Vuittons.
Pyramid build date roughly 2550 to 2490 BC.
So that's 4,000 years ago.
About, yeah.
Meh.
Bit more. So 5,000 years before the pyramids.
Is that not crazy to you? We're getting closer to the pyramids being closer to the mammoths than we are the pyramids.
No, we're closer to the pyramids than the mammoths.
Yeah, but eventually we're not going to be. The pyramids will be closer to the mammoths than us. Us to the
right,
pyramids, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
Time is crazy.
1,000 years is a really long time.
Mm-hmm. A lot can change in 10, let alone 1,000.
Yeah.
We can't really comprehend that kind of space of time. What's with the licks?
You know, have you heard about the theory that if you were to go back in time, you literally wouldn't be able to do anything?
Well, like you couldn't communicate with anyone.
You could no, but it's a theory that it's like if you tried to change anything, it would stop you. Things would happen to stop you actually having a feelings. It's the Voykov principle.
What would like stop you? Like yourself? Like
something would stop you.
Wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's all been predetermined or whatever.
Yeah. No, but as soon as you start looking into like space and the passing of time, it just becomes insane. That's like why are we messing around with things on the planet? We need to think bigger. The crazy out there. We need to go find the crazy.
But surely the answer to our problems is probably going down some scientific path, right?
And everything is down a scientific path.
So I don't know. This just like opens this whole Pandora's box to me. The de-extinction company like existing.
I think it's whack.
Would that mean that if you have DNA from someone from thousands of years ago, you can recreate them?
Surely,
yeah,
right?
Genghis Khan is being brought back, and he's gonna be on TikTok.
The next Andrew Tate. He's filling the void left by Andrew Tate.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something to think about.
Okay, so let's just say we have DNA of like any figure from the last 4,000 years, and we can bring one of them back. Who would it be?
I don't know. I like
Jesus.
animals more. Jesus. Yeah. Oh, and I can't remember what they're called, but I got a picture of them at these.
Gorgons.
They're like dogs with stripes on them.
Aren't they still
existed?
alive?
They were only went extinct like a few decades ago, so they were thinking about bringing them back too.
This is what I mean, though. There's going to be like no limit on it. Just be like, yeah, bring them back, and a megalodon.
The extinct Tasmanian tiger. If you want.
No, what we should do is we should bring back proper pugs. We should let the proper pugs fight the new pugs. See who wins, and then they claim, whichever wins claims the true title.
What's a
of
proper
pug.
pug?
When they had noses before they got inbred to be up.
Oh.
So we let them fight, and whichever wins becomes the true pug, because that would just benefit them. He'd win.
I found this article. It's like I guess a list planet. Website or something.
A list planet.
A list.
A
It's because
planet of
the
lists.
website's called onekindplanet.org. But they've just got this. The title is Top 10 Extinct Animals. Just that phrasing, like just like
Yeah, what does that mean?
the best extinct animals.
Yeah.
Just to refresh my memory on some things that are extinct, like the passenger pigeon or the Stella's sea cow. Loads of weird birds. Dodos were like really ugly, man.
Yeah.
Look like they got mange. Like what? Okay, people would line up to see a saber-toothed cat.
Yeah, I would.
People would pay the big bucks to do that.
No, this is the
That's
thing.
true.
You've got to realise this is not being driven by anything science-related or curiosity or the greater good. It's being driven by what can make money.
Money.
But surely, like, if they brought back herds of mammoths, that would be like suddenly a tourist thing.
Yeah.
People would be like going to see the migrating mammoths.
Billy, don't do it there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Too far?
Too far.
We finally gone too far.
I just feel like
Reel it back. Stand down.
the resources right now, though, could go into something different, right?
What, bring him back?
Yeah, it's got to be bringing back something. Like bringing back the Rolling Stones. or the Beatles.
Bring back, Lennon. Not the Russian guy, like John Lennon, I meant.
Bring back
Lennon.
Putin.
Lennon. I love you.
Bring back Stalin.
No, the craziest thing I learned this recently, which is going to sound dumb as but it's going to make me sound like I know nothing, but the Beatles and the Rolling Stones were at the same time, and that blew my mind.
Oh, really?
Which
Yeah, because
did you think
that's like the
was-
debate.
I
like-
thought Beatles was like 10 years prior, because there's no way anyone would listen to the Beatles over the Rolling Stones.
Oh, so there you go. That explains it then, actually.
Yeah.
Your anti-Beatles thing this whole time.
We-
I like them both. I prefer the Beatles.
Because you're a
but-
stoner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've always been anti-Beatles, though. Even though they're the best. They're so good.
They're not
Seminal.
Nam songs. That's just
They're not what song? Oh,
Nam
no.
songs.
No, but that's the problem with the Rolling Stones.
Only Nam songs.
Yeah.
that's sometimes the vibe. Ooh, Billy's little
What's your-
Why
claws.
is she lying like that?
I love the fact that when she's like that, she looks tired and her eyes are very low, but then she's just like ready to attack.
She's always ready. The room she like stays in like has a little slit like permanently open, and she sits perfectly so you can just see her eyes in the darkness. It's
Yeah.
really scary.
She does that like down the garden.
Ooh.
And you were like, if there is one bit of light.
It will reflect off their eyes,
Yeah.
and that's
Mhm.
all you'll see.
Do you know apparently how they see in the dark so well?
How?
Their eyes are so reflective that any light that like bounces into their eyes will be reflected back to what they're looking at and then back into their eyes so they can see it.
Wow.
That's why the little things are called cat's eyes on the road, because they reflect light so you can
Cat's
see.
eyes are a great invention. Now that's a good invention right there.
Yeah.
And
when you drive over them, they get a little wash. It's true, they have suds under the road. So the road is like floating on a thin bed of suddy water.
I like hitting them because they make good noises.
Yeah, because it goes splash, because it dunks in the suds.
I hate the word suds. Stop saying
I
it.
hate the word suds. That's so right there. I agree.
No, but it's just like when you get on a road that doesn't have cat's eyes, it's like, I can't see shit.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Speaking of
100%.
suds, you've just triggered like a memory of something gross. I was talking to someone, right, and they were describing the way their parents like clean up things during the day. Let me explain. So like, I guess they don't have a dishwasher or something. In the morning, they run they fill the sink with warm water and some suds.
Suddy, yeah.
And instead of just cleaning everything then and there, they leave that water in there for the whole day. And every time they like have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever, even if there's dregs in the cup, they like put it in that water, give it a little shake, and then just like put it away. But they use the same water for the whole day.
Is that to save money or
so
something?
I don't know, but by the end of the day, obviously the
like
water's just full of tea and coffee. And I just found that...
That's
Yeah, I hate that. When I do the dishes, like, without a dishwasher, I always, like, if there's a fully drank cup of tea, so an empty cup, but it's had tea in it, I've got to rinse it out before I put it in the sink to wash it, because otherwise it's just going to be like you're washing with tea.
Yeah. And then you wash it, and then you have the other pot of clean water where you wash it again, and that's it. Because you're using the water. So you have your washing up pot with your detergent or whatever, your cleaning solution, and you wash it in there, and then you rinse it and clean it in clean water, and then you dry it, because then it's clean.
Wow, James is so clean.
No, I'm just
baby.
no, but this is where probably some part of my brain is a bit up, because
Sorry. That picture you sent me, James, of Augie doing this exact thing. I'm sorry, listeners, but this is a visual thing right now.
no, but you've seen, like, I can't drink from water, any glass, unless I've like felt the insides of it, because if there's even a crusty bit of food,
That's too far though.
No, but bro, sometimes I'll get like glasses out my dishwasher, and there'll just be like lasagna pieces stuck on the inside, like small little bits, and I'm like, so I'm like really anal about the cleanliness of things you drink from, because you don't drink something if it's got bitty food chunks in the inside.
Well, we'll see after these messages.
Oh.
That's it. Attacker, please. Attack! Billy, smash!
Bye, Bear Bear. Bye, Bear Bear.
I do declare, bye, Bear Bear.
Bear shirts and mug available now. Check the description below.
She's fitted into the requirements of a jar animal, which is really dumb
What are the
pictures.
requirements of a jar?
If you can't take really dumb pictures of them, it's like they're not a jar animal.
We got to have equal humour to cuteness value.
Yeah. Argy has it, Paisley has a lot of it, and Billy has it.
Paisley might have it the most.
No, Argy has it. Of all the iconic jar photos, like the one I put in the group chat.
I get the vibe though that JARlings don't really like Paisley very much.
Why?
Really?
She never gets mentioned. Billy does, Argy does,
It's 'cause she's
Guys
normal.
does.
Guys never gets mentioned.
No, he does, man.
No,
More
did
than
you not see the
Pace.
recent breakdown?
Of what? What a legendary image. That's exactly why he's special right there.
Yeah.
Such a good face.
Yeah, I don't know how it's.
I don't know what cast that's in. New
Well,
Jar episode 5.
It was Randy.
Yeah, it's
right?
Randy up.
Oh, yeah. What a legendary moment. I don't think I've ever known a funnier animal than Argy.
No, nothing's funnier than
I
Argy.
think he's the funniest creature I've ever interacted with.
He was really sweet yesterday.
No,
When I got home,
he's
he was
since.
Hey Jamie, I've really missed
Yeah, yeah.
And then he like stands next to me and his tail's wagging and I touch him and he's like so soft.
Mm-hmm.
Like ridiculous.
Since
Yeah.
he's left this house,
smells
he's
good as
become a better dog.
Yeah,
He's generally a
loves
lovely
it.
boy. He was happy to see me today, and it was just like, "Hello, Argy."
Yeah, I think not having Pace around has been quite good for him.
For
Oh,
both
Billy,
of them,
actually.
because Paige is like really annoying
Yeah.
when Argy's around. She becomes this little arse-eating follower. You know?
I mean, she's always an ass-eating follower, but when
But
she's
yeah.
following the shit-eating
Yeah, she,
gremlin.
she's kind of like Spider from Avatar 2, where she thinks she's something she's not.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
She thinks she's a corgi.
Let's go, cuz.
Run, bro, run! Welcome to the second half of the Jar Media Posdact, where we answer questions from the Jar Media community. Head over to the suggestion thread on the subreddit, not r/flaff, Jar Media. Just like Chris Peacock did, and this is one I actually screenshot last episode, but the thread was so good last episode that there were a bunch of, there were just too many to choose from, and I forgot about this one. I'm going to need you guys to put on your, your thinking goggles a little bit. Your BS goggles. See if you see any lies in this. But I don't know. I feel like there's truth in here. The day I met the most evil JARling. In episode 304, during the Patreon name segment, a name gave details of a JARling fan meetup in my city of Perth, Australia, on Boxing Day. I was surprised to hear there were JARlings nearby, but excited to attend and hopefully make some new friends. On the day, I arrive at the disclosed location and begin asking people nearby if they're here for the JAR meetup. For the next 20 minutes, I was met with the expected confused faces or being straight up ignored, as if I was a drugged up homeless person spewing nonsense. I waited around for another 30 minutes after this and finally saw a person roughly my age arrive. I approached them, intending them to be my last person to ask before just going home, but luckily they were actually here for the said meetup. We quickly introduce ourselves and it goes quite well due to our shared niche interest. I was excited at being able to make a friend with someone who seemed lovely. After talking for a while, we realize no one else is coming, so he suggests we see a movie. Luckily, the new Avatar was playing quite soon, so we walked to a nearby cinema. I'm first to pay for my own ticket and snacks, followed by the JARling. However, when told the price of his ticket and snacks, he begins fumbling around in his bag and pockets, telling me he's left his wallet at home. I didn't think it was a big deal, so I just paid for him too. I thought it would be a nice gesture to form the foundation of our friendship, and he was very grateful. As the credits for the film began to play, he tells me he was desperate to use the bathroom, which was understandable after such a long film, so I stayed back to pick up our rubbish. I waited for him outside the bathroom for about 20 minutes before going in myself. To my utter shock, there was only one older gentleman at the urinal to be found. This bastard paid about $15 Australian on a Patreon name segment to stage a fake meetup in order to con a free ticket and snacks valued at 35 Australian dollars. If the evil JARling is reading this and I'm wrong, and you had some emergency or something, let me know. Or else I'll continue warning this community about your scummy behaviour.
Wow.
Yo.
That's dark.
That's
That's like a Joker plan from like
it's like the
Dark
most
Knight.
innocent Joker ever.
Maybe he just really wanted to see Avatar.
Well, you can scrounge together 15 Australian dollars to do that. You can pay for the Patreon, but you can't see Avatar.
Well, maybe it was his last money.
The only thing that really makes sense to me is that maybe it was someone who was just like, yeah, I was... Actually, no, but they bonded over the niche. It doesn't make sense. They both knew.
From what I can tell, this is an evil individual.
Is that what it is? Have we got an evil patron on our hands?
I think it might be. That's...
Please, you got some explaining to do.
Yeah, that's a mad
clear
scheme.
the air. Yeah. Man. Kind of, stunned by that one. Stick 'em up asks a simple one. When was the last time you genuinely fell over?
A few days ago.
Do you remember what you were doing?
Well, at the moment in the UK, it's like, it's winter. It's cold. Icy. So after work, I walk, I live in the sticks. I'm quite country. So there's just one road that goes around all the small houses, and it's a single track and whatnot. Half muddy, there's no runoff of water. Ice. I was looking at my phone almost at the field. I step on straight on my ass. Fine. This is the thing. When you fall over, if you don't expect it, it's fine. As long as you don't tense up, you're fine. It's quite an enjoyable experience. So I go to the field. I walk back. Same spot. Gaius walks there. Gaius falls over on the way back. Same spot. And it's like, you fucking
Even
twat.
4 legs can't save you.
But this is my whole thing. It's like falling over is like a car crash. As long, if you don't expect it and you don't tense up, it's only a good time.
Man, don't know about that one.
No, because it's like ragdoll, right? Because once you fall, it's when you slip over. When you slip over, you're just gone, and you don't realise that you're just flying through the air, and then you're on your ass. It's a fun time. It's just like the next time you fall over.
He's trying to say car crashes are a fun time.
To be honest, looking back at my motorbike crashes, they were all kind of fun. There's something about losing your whole body weight just being flung that is kind of fun and relaxing. I don't think you'll get it. But it's like
relaxing.
Yeah, because you're so powerless in that moment, and your body is just going somewhere, and you didn't choose where it goes.
That's my biggest fear.
It's like a journey, right? It's like you're going on a cruise ship. So there's all I'm saying is it's a fun time, and when that next happens to you, make your mind completely empty in that moment, and you'll have a fun time.
I don't remember the last time I fell over. I walk into things a lot.
Yeah, I smack my limbs on things really hard all the time.
Yeah, I often walk into like doorways. I often like walking backwards through doorways, and like I always hit my like shoulder or something.
Mm-hmm. I smacked my thumb on a door handle this morning. Yeah, incredibly painful. But falling over though, can't really remember, cause especially when it is icy, I'm so paranoid.
Yeah, same.
No,
I
but
go
that's
so
why.
Careful.
What you see there is you're so paranoid about falling over that when you fall over,
But I haven't
no,
fallen over.
Yeah.
no, but when you do fall over, it's gonna not be fun, and you're gonna hurt yourself more. If you just go limp and you just fall over, you're gonna have a good time.
With like cat hair everywhere.
Never.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I did see Argy and Paisley both fall over on ice though when I went on a walk with them the other day.
That's pretty funny.
It's quite
I think dogs falling over is much funnier than humans.
No, for humans falling over is way funnier.
No, because humans
There's
like we're like a straight line.
No, but with humans don't have elegance when they fall over. Animals do.
Dogs don't.
No, man.
They don't.
Dogs
No,
don't.
they do. They do.
No.
Because they never fully stack it. Like when dogs fall over, it's just cute. It's like, ah. But when humans fall over, it's like,
like that dog that runs after that big bowl and goes.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck. No, but that's the thing. Dogs clearly know it's fun, so then they just like stretch themselves out and it just boom.
I think that's an old jar thumbnail.
Yeah, it is. And it's like the one on the swing. And it was hits the swing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Tiger111 says, there's been a theory going around that Velma was intentionally made to be bad and offensive to make people hate watch it. If that's hypothetically true, what do you think about companies like HBO, Netflix, etc. starting to make bad shows on purpose in the future, basically trolling people into watching their shows? Personally, I think that would be the worst timeline from an artistic perspective. Thanks for the great podbean. I listen every week. Keep on gaming on. Kind of teased this earlier. Disturbing concept for sure.
I think this might be what Big Mouth was designed to be from the get-go.
Designed to be, but then people just loved it.
Yeah, they were like, really? They were like, is the bar really this low?
Wait, okay, now let's play a little game. How many episodes of Big Mouth do you think there
are? Probably over 100.
So your guess is 100? Jim?
I'm going to say like 70 odd.
Damn, really good guess. 62 episodes.
Oh.
62 episodes of Big Mouth.
With more on the way.
That's 7 seasons worth. Well, season 7's coming up, I mean. I can't remember where I even stopped watching that one. Like seasons ago. I couldn't do it anymore.
Like before it was like, oh wow, they've made another one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's watch that. And now it's just like they come out like every other month.
Yeah,
so
people just love it, I guess. People watch it and must get the numbers or whatever.
I mean, part of me gets it. Like something to put on that you really don't have to, like, you don't even have to focus on it, you know? It's much more enjoyable the less you focus on it.
Yeah, until it just becomes like noise.
Yeah.
It's just noise with a bit of movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think about this idea of these companies making things intentionally bad to annoy people on purpose? To get people to watch it?
I can't believe it.
But then I think about, like, have you seen anything about this latest Witcher show, for example? That
Which
spin-off
one?
Witcher show.
You mean the movie? Or was it actually
No,
a
it's
show?
a show.
Blood
The
Dragon?
show.
Well, not Blood Dragon.
Something like that.
Blood Origin.
Blood Origin. And it's, like, comedically bad. And it's just like, why? People were watching it, though. Because it was just being clowned so hard. I'm sure a lot of people are... We don't have HBO Max here, but I did search for Velma on Now TV. It was not on there, so I couldn't watch it, but I probably would have watched a bit of it. Just out of interest, just because it was in the zeitgeist.
Yeah, true. It's the age-old publicity thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of more marketing, isn't it? It does seem a bit like... I can't really imagine a team sitting down and being like, yeah, let's just embarrass ourselves for this.
Yeah,
you know?
It might be more like, what's something that will be like controversial and get people talking?
Yeah.
What if we made like Scooby-Doo without a dog?
Yeah, that's how it began. They thought they were doing like the James Cameron adding the S to Alien thing.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo without Scooby-Doo.
It's more like taking Alien and removing that N.
Alien.
Ailey. Yeah. What if season 1 ends though, and they're like doing this like mystery, and then
the mystery is
and
Scooby.
Yeah, basically like they're like, oh, I can't figure this out, and then they hear
It's like the Thanos cheese.
Yeah. And then season 2 is just all about the Scoob.
No, they can't do it.
What do you mean?
So I'm pretty sure there is a character that kind of fills in that role, but it's a human.
Well, no, Scooby-Doo is now a fucking human in the Scooby-Doo show.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but that's the impression I'm getting. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't freaking know.
I don't know. Dirty boy.
Bro, do you know how old these shoes are? They're starting to fall apart.
I'll tell you what I did actually go on, though, when I was on Now TV was the first episode of The Last of Us.
Oh,
yes.
That's out.
It's like an hour and 20-minute long first episode. And I've never experienced it with media before where it's like, you know that feeling when you've read the book before seeing the film?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, kind of takes something out of it. Even though it's like objectively pretty much like really good. It's
Okay.
It's faithful to the point where like they use like everything basically, like almost shot to shot, like you'll recognize basically everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's what everyone's been asking for, is like a faithful conversion. So it's like it's a weird one because it's like there's quality there, but I'm like not hyped because I know everything that happens. Like I remember all the shots and all the characters, and maybe it gets more different as it goes along. But I'm kind of more curious almost on people who have never played it. Like
yeah,
but you know the story though, surely.
No.
Nothing.
No.
I don't know how James just doesn't engage in any of like pop culture, especially with how terminally online you are.
No, pop culture I'm not involved in.
No, but like you watch.
I dipped out of Marvel. I dipped out of Marvel. Like
no, but even
Edge Runners.
Ooh.
What about Edge Runners?
They're big pop culture.
Anime,
I think. Anime, yeah.
No, but even then, what pop culture anime have I actually seen? I've not seen My Hero Academia. I've not seen One Piece. I've not watched Dragon Ball, Naruto. None of the big ones I've watched. I'm watching Monster. When's Monster ever in the zeitgeist? It's not. Also like a shot-for-shot adaptation of the manga. Really enough.
Read the manga then, bitch.
Because I was seeing like people were often clowning on that Halo show for not being enough like the source material, and now people are saying like, "Well, it's just boring because it is the source. Like it's too accurate."
It's the story for people for not gamers. It's Last of Us for normies.
Normies.
But it's also like Pedro Pascal is like really good.
Yeah, he's a very, very good actor.
Yeah, he's perfect as Joel. I like who's like Tess. Can
I have
the woman from Fringe? She's Tess.
Oh, I thought I recognised her.
Yeah.
I'm from Fringe and The Wire.
He's in Destiny, Jim, not.
Yeah, when's the Destiny show coming out?
No, I'm surprised that there hasn't been one.
It's not faithful enough. This is too entertaining.
This has too much to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll keep watching that. Although the one of the biggest things to me was like, man, like the 2010s were really defined by like zombie media. Holy shit, it was everything.
Yeah. Ever since The Walking Dead, man.
Yeah.
It blew up like huge.
Dead Island, it peaked at Dead Island and it's just kind of dropped off.
That's true.
Yeah, that wasn't
Dead Island rocks.
Dead Island was the best zombies thing ever.
No.
Ever? Yes.
Best piece of media ever.
Nothing will give you more fun than Dead Island.
Yeah, what do you say then?
And we didn't even enjoy Dead Island with alcohol, because that would have fucking wamped out to like 11.
I did read The Walking Dead quite a lot. I read the 100 issues of it. And then stopped when whatever happens.
When Greg gets bonked.
Yeah.
Greg, no. Greg.
Who's Greg?
He's just a random NPC that people scream his name in The Last of Us 2. Greg.
Greg, no.
Not Greg and his dog.
Yeah. Luda Joestar has one for you, James. Does James have any interesting car meetup stories? As I believe he's mentioned going on some on the cast before.
No, I don't think I have. Besides that, we had to scatter from a multi-story car park in Swindon away from the police. That's the only
How did you know police were coming?
Because they blocked off the bloody multi-story car park.
How'd you get out then?
We booked out the other entrance and it was just like Fast and Furious, and it was just like 100 cars booking it in every direction.
Did you book it?
Yeah.
Why didn't you get caught?
Because in numbers, bro. They can't stop you in numbers. No, but then there's
what were you driving then?
The Bluey.
How did you get away?
The loudest car ever.
Yeah, Bluey. I was in Bluey. And then there's the time when someone we were at a car meet and there was loads of people smoking weed at a car meet, and the only person who got arrested and pulled over was a guy on a moped for speeding on a moped. There's the guy who got brie thrown at his car.
Brie?
Oh, brie.
There was a street where, you know the dual carriageway in Swindon?
Mm-hmm.
There was a street race going on there, and the guy was in a Renault Clio, and he was a notorious twat. So he got in a street race with a guy in a Mini, and as he drove past, someone got a block of brie, threw it in the window, and it covered the window. And because it's a Renault, it's French cars and brie.
Man, that stretch is actually like perfect. Thinking about it.
Yeah, you can go pretty fast down there.
Yeah. Interesting.
But no, other than that, I've not got any other crazy car meet stories. I tend to not go to them anymore because it's just like not an interesting crowd. Because it's all like people go there for attention, depending what car they drive. And I don't want that. So that's not the car culture I'm into.
Car's too classy now, anyway.
Yeah, it's just like I'd rather just some guy talk to me in a car park. It's just like, oh, I like your car. It's like, cool, man. But yeah, I don't do car meets because I know they're a big thing in America because America's got street takeovers. You've probably seen clips of them where...
What does that mean?
You know those big intersections where it's... Loads of people get out of their car, stand in a circle, and loads of people just drift, do little skids in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And there's loads of clips of people getting run over and shit and getting killed in these.
Really?
Because then that sometimes leads to like gun violence.
Oh.
Because you've got all this shit going on.
Surely, like, while they're doing that in the middle of an intersection, the people who are waiting are getting, like, furious.
Yeah. It's like the worst part of car culture at the moment, and America needs to stop it because it's just gross.
Is that like a big American thing?
That only happens in America.
Would you go to...
They're not doing it in Japan ever. I swear what I saw...
No, in Japan it's different because they're not blocking streets. They're on like abandoned docks at the middle of the night just drifting. It's very different because they're not interfering with people. But in America, the whole thing is like it's a street takeover. It's a different thing.
Would you go to like where they have all the hydraulics?
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's a good cool thing because it's just like your car looks cool.
And it bounces.
And it bounces, yeah. So,
yeah, I'd like to see that IRL. That'd be hilarious.
Japan.
Do they do bouncing?
Yeah. They've got a huge American scene in Japan. Everything, if it's related to cars, it's done best in Japan, and that's just a fact. Because they view passions differently there.
Smain Choker has a weird one here. Did you guys ever have a teacher who was fired after some sort of scandal? There was a PE coach at my high school who was unanimously hated by everyone because he was constantly on a power trip and loved to make fun of students. One day an amateur porno with him in it started spreading around school, causing him to be fired. It was a strange video, in that two people were doing it while on the couch, and many other men stood around watching and cheering. There's even a point where they're banging against a window and the coach goes around the other side and begins licking the window.
Well, yeah, you should probably you should be fired if you're working in a school and you've been seen in a dirty porno.
What if it's a clean porn?
No, because if...
What if just
like
got on
Johnny
OnlyFans?
Sins wanted to like change career?
No, because it's like the safeguarding of children, right?
Yeah, but like, what does that have to do with his previous job?
Safeguarding of children.
Do you guys remember anything like this? I only ever remember hearing of, when I was in sixth form, a local primary school having something...
A full-on pedo.
Yeah, a full-on pedder doing just heinous shit. But
Sorry, that term is just like
pederast.
full-on pedder. No,
Yeah.
wasn't Mr. G a bit of
Because
a...
I wouldn't call this guy in the thingy, full-on pedder necessarily.
No, that's...
Just
that's,
creep.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean... I think that is a different thing because like that I think a lot of women school teachers as well have been
Yes.
like discovered for that sort of specifically in America.
Yes.
You hear about it like weirdly often.
Oh, what, like teachers having relations with the boys?
No, like teachers having an OnlyFans.
No, it's
or
happening a lot in
something,
this
like, on
country
the
as well.
side. On this kind, yeah, I think you're right.
Recently, there was a big one recently.
Like, is that illegal?
That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like this coach, like I'm sure it's a case by case, but like having porn on the side.
There is that check you have to do if you do any job that's to do with children.
Yeah.
But I don't know if, like, what this kind of thing means.
Yeah. Fuck knows. But I'm pretty sure we had a bit of a creepster.
We did.
But I don't know if that was all like
Secondary school?
yeah. I don't know if that was all hearsay, like rumors.
What?
He ended up quitting or being fired pretty soon
Really?
after.
Was it the DT teacher?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a lot of rumours about him.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah.
Yeah, like dropping pens and then telling girls to like
Yeah, go pick it up or whatever.
in front of him.
He was a power trip teacher.
Yeah.
Big time.
Definitely.
And yeah,
Asshole.
he was like really scary.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, there's all sorts of stuff that was like spoken about, but you never really knew what the
Whispers.
truth was. Yeah.
Yeah, especially because you're so young at the time. You have no idea what's actually going on. Let's do a couple more here. Suspicious Choice 858. Hello Mingers, new JARling here. I started listening to the Posdact in December of 2022, but with one small twist. I've been listening to each episode in reverse chronological order. It's like watching Memento, but instead of finding out who murdered your wife, I'm trying to figure out why you keep saying bear bear. It's a pretty fun way of listening to the cast, and having moments where I finally get the context for gags in previous episodes after going backwards through 10 episodes. Like why you guys are constantly talking about porn addiction. One last thing.
It's actually because of our teacher in secondary.
I still have no idea which is James, which is Jamie, and which one is Jim. Love the cast and appreciate you lads. I guess I'd never considered how confusing that potentially is. Because Jim is also a shortened version for James.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing, is the nicknames don't
But I
make
never
any
say
sense.
Jamie.
James does.
True. So, but then you can pick
But
up.
I imagine these
Yeah.
I imagine these people are only listening to the audio version, because if they watch it, you can instantly see who's talking and whose voice comes from whose face.
Yeah. I don't necessarily blame people for that. I also don't even really blame someone for listening in this order. I've done that with podcasts before.
I think that's kind of a cool idea. I could never do that though.
Really?
I've got to start from one and go through. It's why I don't really listen to podcasts anymore.
Actually, true. In saying that, I have never done that. I would do that. I would get into a podcast, or this is what I do still. I'll get into a podcast, know what I like, and then go back to the beginning.
Yeah. And it's really frustrating actually, because there might be like an episode on a podcast that's specifically interesting for that one episode, but I don't want to listen to it because it's like, no, I need to start from number one and go through.
Oh, right.
And catch up.
I think it depends on like the show or whatever, because this is like, I don't know, there's so many layers that JAR onboarding is like a process in and of itself, it's almost like Destiny.
Yeah, no, we are just Destiny.
But
then there are like some podcasts I'll only listen to like where they have like a different guest on each episode, and it's like
You can
only
pick and
listen
choose.
if it's
Yeah.
a guest I get.
Yeah. No, I can do that when like the point of the podcast is
That.
this
Yeah.
person. So if there's a person that like you don't like or just talks about stuff you're not interested in, then you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, you do you, man. I want to know you guys' thoughts on watching content at anything above 1x speed.
Yeah, I can't.
That's just wrong.
So I got a bit of a confession to make, guys.
You watch everything at like 1.5.
Nah, I watch a lot of
1.25?
conversational YouTube content. I'll watch at 1.25.
Yeah, I do understand that.
I will
'cause
do that.
It cuts like a quarter out of the runtime.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I don't watch the type of videos you guys watch where I've got like a 2-hour-long marathon video to get through.
Yeah, you do. Warhammer lore.
Yeah.
But the
No,
thing
stop. If anyone's watching looting on 1.25, they deserve to be executed. You don't skimp on that man's sexy voice.
But the thing I find is that on 1x speed, if my mind has a short wander, you know, like down to the shops or whatever, then I haven't missed too much by the time I start to like pay attention again.
Mm.
Whereas if it's on anything faster, it's like, oh, like the conversation's totally changed and I just missed like a big chunk and have to rewind it. And then my brain does the same thing, so I have to rewind it like 5 times.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I can't go above any. I've tried, but it kind of distorts it way too much.
I think
Here's a question. Have you ever had one headphone with one video and one headphone with another, and then have them like that, and then you're just like absorbing double the content while playing a video game?
Yeah, I hold one book in this hand and one in that hand, and my left eye reads the left book and my right eye reads the right book. One major.
While you're listening to 2 different audiobooks.
Yeah.
So what I would say is I think there's a problem now with younger people, and it's probably from our generation of overstimulation.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why are you actually willingly choosing to consume that much stuff at once? What's the reason for it? Because it can't be good in any way for the brain.
Reading a book with the eye each.
No. No, as in like you know what I mean? It's like a common meme online. It's just like watching 7 media at once so my brain doesn't have a single thought, right? But like the amount of people I talk to, it's just like, oh, I'll be playing COD and I'll have like a Wash video in the background and then a Total War video in the background while talking to my girlfriend and my mates. It's like, you can't do all that at once.
No,
but I will say though, I like you got your Civ match going.
Civ is very different. Civ is very different because Civ is not COD. Like you can't do other things while playing COD.
No, if I'm playing COD, I'm 100% in COD.
Yeah,
So you
but
don't
with
have music
Civ
or
you can.
Not with COD. On Apex, I'll listen to music. But COD, no, I've got to be
100%.
It depends on the pacing of the thing you are enjoying.
Exactly, and Civ is a slow burner because it's like, oh, I'm waiting for Alex to take his turn. I'm gonna just go watch a YouTube short for 20 minutes.
When we're playing Civ, I will have Spotify playing.
Yeah, I'll listen to music when playing Civ.
See, I don't know how anyone listens to any music when playing.
Really?
I can't.
Well, as you were just saying, like when it's not your turn or whatever, like it's just like in the background.
No, I can't. No. Music. This is the thing. This is why music to me is different. Is when I listen to music, I listen to music. It's not ever a background thing.
Never. What about when you're driving?
No, because I go for drives to listen to music.
But you're doing more than one thing.
Oh.
No, driving's different. Driving's a different
driving
spaces.
is not different. Driving is
No,
like
it is to me. It is to me because driving a car is not hard. It's borderline.
It's not hard, but like
it's just
Civ
like
isn't
AI.
Hard.
I focus more at Civ most of the time than I do driving because driving in traffic's not fun or interesting. I got the Clio sideways actually today on the roundabout.
What do you mean, drifted it?
Yeah, it's really easy. If you just go fast enough, the back end just slides.
Was it a bit icy as well?
No.
I did have that going round a roundabout in Iceland. In a big SUV 4x4.
How did you find driving a big motor?
It was a hybrid. And it had the torque of an electric vehicle.
Nice. What
It would be a diesel. It would be a diesel.
It wasn't a diesel.
do you mean
It was petrol. Petrol hybrid.
That's because it's a hybrid.
What car brand?
That's what I just said. I just said it's a hybrid.
I didn't hear you. My mind was in something else, bro.
Well, maybe if you listened to me, then you wouldn't have to interrupt me with stupid comments like what you just said.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, what vehicle?
What brand? What car brand?
Hyundai?
Was it a Santa Fe?
No, Mitsubishi.
Was it a PHEV?
Eclipse. Mitsubishi Eclipse. No, but you just go.
No, the thing with the Eclipse is the Eclipse before that one was a sports model. It was a sports car. Yeah, that's why people hate the Eclipse, because they milfified it.
Milfified it.
I thought you loved that.
No.
And it was like brown. It was a brown Mitsubishi Eclipse.
It's base.
Yeah.
Awful. No. Type in Eclipse.
99.
Yeah.
It pissed me off how easy and comfortable it was.
Yeah, they turned that car into a milfmobile.
That's bizarre.
That car rocks.
Yeah.
Well, how do you rate Mitsubishi though?
Oh, Mitsubishi were at a point like literally one of the best in the world.
Oh.
And then they decided to milfify their entire range.
But who isn't doing that at this point though?
Yeah.
Toyota.
They do have one though.
Well, of course they have milfmobiles, but they have like cool cars. But Mitsubishi literally killed all their cool cars, because Mitsubishi's famous for rallying, taking a normal car and then bombing it around trees in Scandinavia, and then they just turned all of their cars into things MILFs drive.
Is that such a bad thing though?
Yes, not when Mitsubishi Evos got killed for the MILFs. Like, I was willing to sacrifice anything for the MILFs, but Evos, no.
It was quite nice to drive though, I can't lie.
Did you get a Moto though?
Not in this country. I think they're ridiculous.
They're
in this
stupid.
Country, they're 100% totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
In this country. There are plenty of countries where it's like, I wouldn't want to drive not in one.
Like
Iceland.
Like Iceland.
Why?
In winter. You wouldn't catch me dead in the bloody Salika in Iceland. Jesus
No,
Christ.
but if you were in an Evo, 4-wheel drive, 400 brake horsepower, and you can just power out of anything. Like, you've seen the videos where it's like a truck is stuck and a baby driver Subaru just pulls a truck out of snow. They're designed for that environment. The Milfmobile isn't. Rally cars, yes.
No, but then
no.
there's the comfort and warmth aspect.
No.
Yes.
You get warmth from your turbo making mad power. No, that's an actual thing. Like, turbos make large heat. So if you're in boost all the time, it's making heat, and that is going into your
Boost?
Boost, yeah. Like, the solution is not Milfmobiles in snow. They're actually worse in snow. Because normally they're front-wheel drive. And front-wheel drive,
No,
that's
it's
not what you want
four-wheel
in
drive.
snow. But a lot of them are front-wheel drive. All you need is a Clio in snow. Amazing.
No, there's like a certain amount of security when you're in like a big thing.
But that's the excuse they all use here to buy these big cars, is security and how safe you feel. I think the safer you make the person in the car feel, the more likely they are to get into crashes, because they don't understand the danger of what they're doing. You're driving a 2-ton box of steel that can kill families. So by making the driver safe, you make everyone else less safe, because that person doesn't understand the predicament they can cause. If you make it so that every car would kill the driver, the roads would be safer.
But also a bigger like space, right? So the wheels are further apart. Better for ice.
No.
Yes.
No.
It's an objective truth.
No. 4-wheel drive, turbo.
No, 4-wheel drive,
Turbo.
big.
Big bad. Big is weight that you're putting on a pivot point where if you lose the back end and you've got
But
space, you're just gonna
if you counteract
rotate.
If you counteract that weight with a bigger space.
No.
Yes.
In snow, you want small 4-wheel drive. Subarus, Evos.
On ice.
Yeah. Ice. Yes. Rally cars literally race at 150 plus 100, 120 mile an hour in the worst conditions possible. Every modern rally car is a hatchback. They're not big cars. They're tiny little cars with four-wheel drive.
Yeah, but
that's what you want.
They're going 120 miles an hour.
Yeah, which means even the slightest thing is instant crash and die.
And most people don't drive like that on a daily basis.
No, but the small is better when it comes to snow and ice.
At 120 miles an hour?
No, at any mile an hour. Small is better.
But I thought people like these motos because they also you can fit all your shopping in the back.
No, but this is the thing. They don't actually improve that. They don't. The idea that SUVs are like so much better.
No, but like my dad
wrong.
has one, and you can fit like a.
Well, yeah,
so many things.
But you can fit that same stuff in an estate. You'd fit more in an estate. You can fit a lot of the things you can fit on that in a saloon. You don't. The idea that SUVs suddenly mean you've got more space is not true.
It's not. It's also that you're like high up and in a tank. That people like, right?
Yeah, which is why there's more accidents on the roads.
Yeah, I hate them myself.
More? What do you mean more accidents on the roads?
No, because it's that you will get this as soon as you get on a bike. Because there's no box saving you. There's nothing protecting you on a bike. But in a car, you're protected by how much like square footage of fucking steel and all this moto shit. I generally think cars would be safer if they were more dangerous.
Is that like the snake eating its own tail off?
No. Like, I'm going to remove my airbag. Am I going to drive safer? No.
Yeah, disproving your whole point.
But I'm not.
But
I'm not going to get in a crash.
Something you're neglecting to talk about.
Yes.
Also, is like suspension.
Yes.
The size of the wheels.
I would 100% say that car suspension is far too soft.
No, but for driving on ice / like gravel / snow, you need bigger wheels and you need.
Not necessarily bigger wheels.
Yeah, definitely bigger wheels. For driving on snow, for driving on ice.
No, because rally cars don't suddenly use bigger wheels when they're driving in snow. The suspension is where you're really going with it, because when you're using on that terrain, you need
you should have
softer
seen
suspension.
The vehicles. Some of these vehicles I saw in Iceland.
You talking like Hiluxes, lifted off the ground with that, but they're not
giant wheels, and one of them was just like a Ford Transit van, but like 6 feet off the ground with giant wheels put on it, and they just glide along the road like it's nothing.
Like it's nothing, yeah.
So you're talking like stuff like that. That's in Iceland, by the way. Yeah, huge.
Yeah, you see
huge
those
wheels.
pretty regularly.
Yeah, huge wheels lifted. But that isn't. But they're not driving on roads. They're built to go off-road, where you need the ground clearance.
But this
and
is
the
why
bigger
I'm
tires.
saying, like in Iceland as well, a lot of the roads to go to like the more scenic places, it's not like concrete.
Yeah, because it's
just
winter.
Gravel, dirt, and.
Yeah, in that case, you would need a
4x4, like an SUV.
I wouldn't say an SUV. I'd say a pickup.
You'd need something lifted.
Yeah,
like something higher off the ground.
You need a
with
ground
bigger
clearance.
wheels.
Yeah, but the thing is, the like you look at any of these Range Rovers here, they're not that, because they're supposed to look like 4x4s.
You don't have the environmental excuse here.
Yeah, that's why they're all luxury like classism cars.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, in snow, being further up is probably going to be better for your car. Being higher off, like, from the snow.
Yes.
Because then if you go into deeper snow as well, you're not just fucked immediately.
No. You don't like my Nissan in the snow.
No,
because it's too low.
I was imagining driving my car.
Yeah, your car's also pretty low.
It's very low, and it would just be like...
But I think in like you think of any like Sweden, Norway, the countries that deal with snow and extreme temperatures, they have normal cars there because they work there, and you can still drive a normal car. So like if you're going off the beaten track, you'd need race suspension, and you need to change it because then it's better suited for that environment. It's like bringing a Mammoth back. It's not suited for this environment, so it's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I hate SUVs.
I think they're ridiculously like ugly.
None of them good looking.
You can't make them look good.
No. You can't. By design, they're too big.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need them.
The nicest ones are the Mazda ones.
Mazda knows how to design things because they're just going for the Covenant design.
Yeah.
Make everything look bubbly and it's fine. That's the true sequel to Halo 3 is Mazda's current design philosophy. If you want something rewarding and it's in Halo lore, Mazda.
Yeah.
Mazda.
I've got one more here, guys, I want to end on. From Poopy Cum Man. Thoughts on there being a battle pass in the new Suicide Squad game? I'm super disappointed in this as it seems we can't have a game just be a game anymore, always needs microtransactions. Really hope this doesn't ruin Kevin Conroy's last time as Batman. Don't know if you've seen this, Jim, but
No, I haven't.
on 4chan, what looks like a real screenshot of like the main menu has leaked for this Suicide Squad game, and not only does it have like, you know, the awful COD menu design, where everything's just on the screen at the same time for no reason, and it's like ugly and looks terrible. There's a battle pass page. There's 6 different currencies, like loadouts for each, all the Destiny kind of stuff. Like, it's just like any anticipation I had was like sapped out from seeing that image. It's just like,
Yeah, that is the capacity to ruin it.
yeah. Why does a game like that need a battle? I'm so sick of it. What is it? What does it mean? What is in it? Who cares?
What I guarantee it is they've been working on a single player game for years, and it's rock steady, and they've been doing it for years and years, and then Warner Bros. Are like, how many copies are we gonna sell? We've been pumping money into this for like 6 years.
Must be the biggest gap between any of their games.
Yeah, so they'll probably be thinking, all right, we need to put stuff in, cram it in to make it moo money, you know?
But it's like the, what was that? Arkham Knights? Is that what it was called? Gotham Knights.
Oh, yeah.
From a few months back. That's already 50% off, like on sale.
Yeah, they pooed it. It looks bad.
I don't understand that every single developer had the same idea at the same time to copy Destiny.
Yeah.
But copy it in a vacuum. Not in like not.
Let's just make Destiny 1.
I remember that with Anthem, they were like, they specifically made a point of saying, well, we're not looking at the competition. We're not gonna, which is just like, what?
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Well, yeah, they stole a bunch of like design ideas from the competition, but then didn't learn the lessons the other companies already had. It's just crazy, man. It doesn't make any sense to me. I guess it was just a leak or whatever, so maybe it's not real, but it looked pretty official to me, man. Disappointing.
We'll see. When's it even meant to come out?
I assume this year. How long can you sit on like a Suicide Squad game?
I know, it's crazy that
Which to me is just not that exciting anyway.
No,
to be honest.
like they've kind of got to put the work in to make it interesting to me.
Yeah,
I would have much preferred like a Green Arrow game or something.
yeah. Batman Beyond is what I wanted, but
shit, yeah, that would have been cool.
yeah. Oh, well. What's that then, fellas? Another one for the books.
Ichini san
Don't.
seek. Look how chubby my fingers are compared to yours.
Bro, I'm underweight.
Look at her eyes in the TV.
I love that every animal just becomes like a funny meme.